Well, hey there, and welcome back. One of the privileges I have of having this channel is communication with you. And that happens in the form of comments that you drop down below, which I really appreciate. But also, I get cards and letters and occasionally packages in the mail. And in fact, I get so many cards and letters that I am months and months behind on answering them, and I really need to start doing that more frequently. But I have not done a mail time video in over 6 months. It's high time we did it. I have a stack with cards and letters, and just today a package came in the mail. Let's do it. Let's do mail time. Well, let's start back on this letter dated April 4th, 2021. That's over a year ago. I replied on October 20th. This is from Kyle Fortman. A nice little letter. This is being typed on two different typewriters. He talks about his Oliver 9 and a Royal HH in his collections. And he added a Smith Corona Silent and an Olivetti Letter 32. I really love the ad hoc corrections because that's perfectly fine to do corrections on your letters like that. And then next is our friend Florian Jung from Germany, and he has another letter with handmade envelope, handmade paper. Yes, he is a very skilled paper craftsman. This was dated on January 2021, and I only got around to answering him October. So hey, it's less than a year, right? So this was written on an Adler Jr., a 1964 Adler Jr., and has a really nice typeface, this kind of purplish blue ink. I really like it, and I always look forward to his letters. Even double-sided, this paper works really well, and it truly is handmade and wonderful craftsmanship. I really love it. Thank you very much, Florian. And later in the year, in August, I received another letter from Florian, which I also replied in October, and this one was typed on a Gabriel top type, an electric typewriter with a kind of an italic typeface. Maybe kind of a script typeface, I can't quite tell. His favorite machine is a Splendid 33, and he has a mint green Hermes Baby. And he goes on to talk about watching videos, and he has an old Maritza typewriter with an italic font. And anyways, so it's really fun seeing these letters from other countries, how people are getting along with their typewriter collection. This paper that he's typing on is Le Typographie, made in Belgium. Very nice letter writing paper. Thank you very much, Florian. Okay, so the next letter is from our friend Michael Arau, and this was dated 16th April 2021. I replied in October. This is one of these letters that is folded into its own envelope. So he folds it in a special way, puts a wax seal on the outside, and it becomes its own envelope. So anyway, very nice letter. I appreciate Mike from hearing from you all, as always. And then I also got a handwritten letter from Michael. This was I got it on August 6th. So this is he actually sent it on July 31st. This is a nice kind of a reddish, cherry-colored, maybe wine-colored fountain pen ink. And this is beautiful paper. This is so smooth and kind of translucent, and it's really nice to see handwritten letters. It really is. Okay, so next is a handmade envelope from our local typewriter aficionado, Tara, and she has a neat little typewriter stamp. She makes these envelopes out of calendars and old photos in magazines and stuff like that, and she did a nice handwritten, hand-printed letter, which I really love. This is Seafarer little letterhead. This was dated September 13th, and it's very cool. It's, again, a handwritten letter is so special, and I really appreciate it. Okay, the next letter is from Brian Okabayashi, and it was dated, he wrote it on August 14th last year. I got it on the 26th, and I replied on the 20th of October. So Brian is now a practicing lawyer. We've been communicating via letter ever since before he passed his bar exam. So he wrote this letter on a 1947 Smith Corona Silent on this Mead multi-purpose paper. And anyways, it's great always catching up with Brian and seeing how his life is progressing. He's getting a lot of courtroom experience in Southern California, and his other writing hobby is fountain pens, which is very cool. And he's particularly fascinated with iron gall inks. Oh yes, there's a deep dive you can do. Iron gall inks. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Brian. And also earlier in the year, in April, I also had another letter from Brian, and I think I was knocking all these letters out at the same time. He was writing this signature with a Pelican blue-black ink, and anyways, it was great to get a couple letters this last year from Brian. Okay, so the next one was a letter that was enclosed in a card from Brenda and John Blomberg. This is a couple that we know. They've been to Albuquerque. We've met them in person, but they're also occasionally, Brenda is on the Type Club Live on Sunday mornings, and it's nice seeing a hand-printed letter. She has a really nice handwriting. So again, a nice personal touch from Brenda. Really appreciate. She's a real crafty person. She does really well with crafts and everything, and every card she sends is just a work of art. So it's great getting something from her in the mail. Thank you very much, Brenda. So this is another handmade card from a calendar from our friend Tara here in Albuquerque, and she sends me a typed letter. This is on the Brother Charger 11, and it's really nice to see her typing, and this is an interesting printed paper. Very cool, and she's always very crafty, Tara is. Great to hear from her. Thank you, Tara. So this letter is from another local Albuquerquean, a part of our typewriter group. This is from Judy, or Judith, and she sends us a letter dated on the April 2021. I replied in November. Hey, it's only 6 months or so. They just did a typewriter inventory in their house, and they have 45 typewriters. Hey, that's not so bad, right? So it's so much fun to catch up with the locals. So this next letter is from our friend Danny Schwartz, who lives in Germany. He's titled this letter, The Mystery Machine. This was addressed on the 15th May, and I got it on June 4th, and I replied in November. This is typed on the new machine. It is a 1924 Corona 4 that he stumbled across on eBay. So very cool. It's nice to see that nice signature, but he also includes a few photos, and there is the Corona 4. That's a sweet little machine. There it is with a case, and there's their dog. How cool is that? It's always nice to get letters from people that you've written back and forth a few times, and you start to know them, know their lives a little bit. You start to feel like, you have a connection with them, even though we've never actually met in person, but it's just nice to have connections around the world through the power of letters. This is from the Land of Enchantment, New Mexico, and this is from our friend Irv Hirsch. That's right. So he's the guy who sent me the Typewriter Day card from California. He was on a road trip. He was visiting friends in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and he was using the Skywriter, and it's great, Irv, to get this card, a local New Mexico card. How cool is that? Very neat. Then, this is my Christmas card from my old buddy Paul, who lives in Southern California, and we served together in the late 1970s in the Navy. We were shipmates, and we've kept in track ever since. And he's been a photographer. He kind of got me started in photography in a lot of ways. He does a Christmas Santa or whatever themed card every year, photographic card he does. Okay, yet another card from our friend Tara here in Albuquerque, and we have to put it in order. So you have page 1, right? And then page 2, and then page 3, and page 4. I thought that was so cool. A multi-card, multi-page letter from Tara. As always, wonderful. So this next one is for Devin Kirpalani from New York State. I think this is the first time I've gotten a letter from him. This was actually from February of 2022, and I replied in February. Can you believe it? So he's a subscriber and a viewer of my YouTube channel. He wanted to express his appreciation for the videos I've made and for the typewriter community, and he appreciates my philosophy about the use and place of typewriters in the 21st century, and he was telling me that he visited the northeastern part of New Mexico near Cimarron to do a backpacking trip at the Philmont Scout Ranch. Anyways, he really loved it, and so there is a nice letter from him. Great to hear from him. As always, have a new pen pal. Now, this next letter is from a frequent correspondent of ours who goes to school in Southern California, and His name is Javier, and he is a young man who's going to school, and he actually has the Hermes Rocket typewriter. This one is typed on it, I believe, and I love his signature, of course. This was dated, and I got it on February 14th of 2022, and I answered him in later in the month, but it's great, as always, to hear from him. So this letter was from Daniel Milan, who lives in Mexico City, Mexico. This was dated February 15th, or at least that's when I got it. He wrote it on the 18th, so not too bad. This is pretty cool. This is a 3 or 4 page, looks like a 3-page letter, and I really like this, and I can't remember what typewriter this was typed on, but he talks about a 1939 Remington and then also an Olivetti. And anyways, it's great getting letters. Daniel has a great fountain pen signature at the bottom there. So, lovely letter. It's fantastic, and I thank you very much. Okay, so this next piece is called Letter Gothic, and I got this on March 21st of 2022. And Letter Gothic is a zine. It is a true zine. So this is issue 2, dated March of 2022. So you can email him at editor@lettergothic.com and look at the website lettergothic.com. Typewritten, looks like xerography, kind of pictures, and just classic articles that you would expect from zines. A little bit of typewriter content, actually, which is really cool. Letters from the editor. Just funny stuff, and actually on the very back you can make your own platonic solid. You can cut out the back cover and make a platonic solid. And of course it also has some very fun little stickers. I'm really kind of a fan of zines, and I really want to do some of my own zines one of these days, but this was fantastic. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, these next 2 were postcards that I received almost the same day, and it's from my friend Kevin, and they were on a road trip, and this is the New Pioneer LLC Casino in Laughlin, Nevada. This is an old postcard, so very fun to get that. And then Kevin also sent me a postcard made from a photo that he printed on his Canon dye sublimation printer. 4x6 photo paper will roll through the typewriters pretty easy, so it's nice. Kevin takes his typewriter out on the road in his little Canon printer, and he can make his own postcards, which is very cool. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Okay, this next one is a letter from our friend Danny Schwartz again, and I was really very fascinated by this letter. So first of all, a nice signature at the bottom. There's a nice little kind of a logo, printed logo at the bottom, but he typed this letter at a slant, and each one of the lines ends up so neat. He's asking me to guess what it is, but it was typed on a Smith Corona Classic 12, a 1977 Smith Corona Classic 12. And now, for us Americans, that would sound like a very normal kind of a typewriter, but keep in mind that over in Europe, it's harder to find Smith Coronas. So there is his typewriter right there. He sent me a little Fuji Instax mini print of it. And he also sent a few photos of, this is his dog, right? There he is with his dog. There's his Olympia, the mean green machine. And this is, he met these 2 guys rocking some classic carpenter gear in a neighboring town of Quedlinburg, one of the oldest historic city centers in Europe. Very cool. And then this is a winter scene around his hometown near Christmas in 2021. Very wintry there. And there is a color shot of the Smith Corona typewriter. That is a classic looking Smith Corona typewriter. Classic 12, of course. And a nice little backyard garden scene. Oh, by the way, the dog's name is Bruno. So there it is. There's Bruno and Danny himself. Very cool. But I really liked the way he went to his trouble of typing this at a slant. Such a great typographic artistic effect. Well done, Danny. Thank you. Okay, one last card here before we get to our package. This is from, of course, Brenda Blomberg. And this is just an example of the kind of craftsmanship that she does. She's a very crafty lady, and so cool. This was an Easter card, of course. So cool. And then a nice handwritten note. She has nice penmanship, dated April 8th, 2022. Anyways, telling about her typewriter ventures. She got a Smith Corona Corsair Deluxe for $20. And so anyways, very fun. Nice hearing from you again, Brenda. So it looks like I can read. It says, open this end. Okay, so we have a bunch of purple confetti. Oh boy, it looks like we have quite a package here, folks. So let's just start pulling stuff out of here. First of all, Reminisce magazine. Oh. This is, oh, by the way, I didn't tell you who this is from. This is from Gregory Short. This package is from Gregory Short. Reminisce magazine, September 2021. So we have a New York review of books. And yes, I'm having a huge mess all over my floor now. Well, that's pretty cool. Okay, it is Middlebury New England Review. Oh, the New England Review. Oh, this is 2016. Okay, I got some serious reading, folks. I'm seeing entire pages with just one single paragraph. And if you know anything about that, it means this is serious writing. I'm going to have to gear up for that for sure. Okay, there is the first letter. Okay, so this is dated January 17th, this particular letter. He's thanking me for this letter and the goodies I sent him back in September of 2021. This is a Smith Corona Ultrasonic daisy wheel typewriter using the Tempo 10 daisy wheel. It's one of his favorite typeface. Look at that typeface. Isn't that neat? So he's asking whether a person could record the sound of operating a daisy wheel typewriter and calculate the delay time between pressing the key and when it prints. I think you could, just by looking at the time spectrum. The audio spectrum. Anyways, very cool. Okay, so, and this is a little Aranga 3C with Noodler's Navajo turquoise fountain pen. Very cool. Okay, that's the first letter. So I'm going to cover up his address, but his letterhead is very cool, very kind of mid-century modern. So this paper is 80-pound classic avalanche white felt from paperandmore.com, which doesn't exist anymore. And then his signature was with Monteverde Giant Sequoia with a Kokiro by Kyo Nooto pen. So very cool, and I like the quality of this paper and of the type itself. Anyways, he includes a bunch of cool stickers, which I always love, and I try to pass these on to other people when I do write. Look at that. Coffee themed photography, balloons, space, typewriters, and Area 51, of course, gotta have that. So, anyways, he's writing me a second letter about the Ultrasonic 3 typewriter using a different typeface. This is the Corporate 10 daisy wheel, and I really like this letter head paper. Actually, it's textured paper is really neat. He printed it with a new monochrome laser printer, which, yeah, that's a good way to do letterheads. I need to do some of that myself. So, there is a tape enclosed. Okay, a tape. That's right, a microcassette tape, side 1, side 2, and I very much love microcassette tapes. Thank you, Gregory. This antibacterial eye protect pen. Well, that's pretty cool, huh? You don't want dirty writing. That's for sure. Okay, what else is in here? Oh, what do we have here? We have more goodies. This opens up. It looks like a glass pen. Have you guys used a glass pen before? You dip these in ink, and the ridges in the glass tip hold the ink, similar to a nib-style dip pen, but a little bit different. And I've had a few other glass pens in my life, and so I'm really looking forward to using this, Gregory. Thank you very much. Okay, this is a Jinhao. Yes, we know Jinhao. Quality fountain pens made in Asia, or value fountain pens maybe is the way to put it. Okay, that is a very sleek looking device right there. It is a fine tip Jinhao modernist style fountain pen with a converter. Yes, I can use bottled ink. Well, I'm looking forward to trying this out, Gregory, because I do like the Jinhaos that I've tried have pretty good nibs, and this is a real sleek, modern looking one that closes up really precisely. How cool is that? Thank you very much. Reaching into the box now. That's right. Route 66. Maybe hang it from my rear view mirror just to remind everybody that I live near Route 66. Very cool. Okay, what do we have? Oh, okay. The Riverside Painted Rocks. Okay, that is so cool. I think my wife is going to love these. And believe, as you must believe in the painted rocks. Believe in the power of the painted rocks. How cool is that? All right, what else do we have? Oh, we have 2 wooden dowels. That's interesting. And what else do we have? We have an assortment of keychains, it looks like. Let's take a look at this. Okay, first of all, we have some maracas. We have a Type Pals pin to put in your hat or on a shirt or something like that, right? And we have a little Lego keychain, which is very cool. All of this is bling. I'm going to probably be giving some of this away. There is a poker chip keychain, which is very neat, and a smiley face keychain holder, key holder. Very neat. Thank you, Gregory. Plays well with ink. Yes, very good. A nice blank notebook to write in. A nice size, too. This is a portable scanner. Oh, man. A portable scanner. You can scan documents. The Magic Wand portable scanner. Wow. That's going to be maybe a whole nother video just for that alone. And then, oh yes, it looks like we have a sketch journal. And you remember, folks, from the previous video, I just started a new sketch journal. Well, this might be the next journal after I use that one up. So a sealed up, fresh sketch journal. We have the Tomorrow Daily, predicting the future one day at a time. This is kind of a spoof newspaper, as I remember reading about this. Some very funny titles and everything. So this will be very fun to read. And also, we have a mailing envelope, some very textured, wonderful papers to try out. Boy, did I score good on this care package, huh? It makes me feel guilty for all those little measly little care packages that I've sent out to other people. I have a lot to catch up on here, and I'm still kind of curious about these antibacterial protection pens. You know, I never really thought about the bacterial aspects of pens, but I have some thinking to do now. Some cassette tape to listen to. Going to have to experiment with this beautiful glass nib pen, dip pen, and of course this portable scanner wand for maybe scanning portable typewritings or maybe thermal typings, perhaps, huh? Maybe that's what the dowels are for, is you can kind of flatten out your typewritten scrolls of thermal paper and just scan with this scanner. That's going to be fun to try. All right, guys. It's fun getting care packages from the internet, and this is just part of the community of the typewriter world, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Gregory, as always. Thank you, Gregory, for everything you do. And if you guys have not visited Type Pals and have not gone on to the Sunday morning Type Club Live, you owe it to yourself to do just that. Get online, grab a typewriter, and do some rubbing elbows and chit-chat with some of the fine members of the typewriter community. Thank you, Gregory, for all that you do. And thank you guys for all that you do. And I wish you the very best. Stay creative and have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye for now.